Welcome to the fitness commandment section. So this is all about rules and guidelines for the industry. And let's start with number one, adopt the right mindset. So train with gratitude. Working out is a privilege, not a chore. So we should be grateful to have the ability to move our bodies and get the compounding mental and physical benefits. So keep that in mind. Number two, it's going to be discover your fundamental why. This is prior to everything else because it keeps you grounded, keeps you motivated. So even when motivation fades, it'll keep you going. That's that deeper ideal that we discussed earlier. Number three, reap what you sow. So your results will always reflect your effort and your focus. So if you train strength, you get stronger. If you train endurance, you improve your endurance. The principle is set. It's the imposed demand. So what you put in, you get out. So if you're not getting the results that you want, you have to take a step back and see why. So keep pushing, you keep progressing, so you keep lifting a little heavier. When the time comes, you get stronger. So if you do the same weight every week, you're not going to progress. So it's about pushing boundaries. For number four, there's never a perfect time. So if you wait for perfect conditions, the right schedule, the right energy, the right motivation, you'll never start. So it's about just taking the present moment and doing it now. So now is a great time for a workout. Today is a great day for a workout. Not next week I'll start, the week after I'll start. It's just now. Start when you can. Always do it when you can. Individualization is number five. So everybody's different, from being different genetically to our individual lifestyles. So you want to cater fitness to work for you. You want to enjoy it. If you're not a big fan of resistance training, then you can scale it back to do the bare minimum to still get the benefit. You don't have to work out lifting weights 5 days a week. You could lift weights full body twice a week, and then just be active. So you want to gear it to your lifestyle so it's sustainable. Number six, take health and wellness into your own hands. So life gets hectic. Learn to scale forward and scale back. So we help you with that through building a wellness foundation, empowering you with fitness education. But the entire premise is to have control of your health and wellness and not be dependent on your local group fitness or local personal trainer. Because when things fall off, you want to have control of your life. And also, you want the knowledge. So you want to know how to scale back during a busy week. If you don't have time, how to just put in what you can. So if you have a crazy week, you only can work out for an hour, you get a solid session in, or you can only go for a walk, you take that walk. Uh, when you have more time the next week, you scale it forward. You get 3 full body workouts, or you split it up, a push pull leg day, then full body day. So you learn through empowering yourself with fitness education how to scale forward and back to keep the ball rolling instead of falling off the bandwagon when life hits you hard. So it keeps that momentum. Number seven is going to be frequency over volume. So consistency beats everything. Frequency is more important than volume. So it's not about how much you do in one session. If you're in the gym for 2 hours doing multiple exercises, multiple sets, that's not as beneficial as when you're doing frequency. So splitting up those workouts, doing 30 minutes, 3-4 times a week is much better than just one crazy session. So keep that in mind. Little goes a long way when it's spread out. Then let's look at number 8, maintain integrity and respect. So no excuses, honor your commitments, strive to be the best and uplift others along the way. So at the gym, trying to do your best to help others. If you see someone who needs a spot, just go spot them or ask how you can help them. You see someone that needs some encouragement, be that inspiration. If you tell someone you're going to work out with them, follow through. Don't bail on them or go MIA the next morning. Then let's look at number 9. Forge your foundation before specializing. Sorry, I skipped one. Number 6 is going to be not all exercises are created equal. So you want to prioritize large muscle groups first because they have the biggest impact. So if I'm doing a pull day, I'm not going to go in there and start with biceps. They're going to be an accessory to my larger muscle groups like upper back, lower back, lats. So you want to start with your major muscle groups and then go from there. Number 7, strength before aesthetics. Build capability before chasing looks. unless you're training to be a bodybuilder. If you're training for functionality, then you want to focus on your functionality over aesthetics. Aesthetics will be a byproduct. So yeah, just doing things in the right order, having the right focus. Master, then maximize movements. So you want to maximize movements, which means building a solid foundation after learning how to properly do each movement and then taking it to the max. So reaching your strongest point. So building a high rep foundation with proper movement and then working into low rep ranges, heavier weight. Um, but you need to master those movements. So you need to learn how to horizontally press, how to horizontally pull, vertical push, vertical pull, elbow extension, elbow flexion, your core, all four functions, rotation, anti-rotation, flexion, extension, your legs, hip dominant, knee dominant. So all movement patterns, gait, crawl, you master those, the movements, and then you build. And you take it as far as you can. That's the mistake most people don't do is they may master movements, but they don't maximize them. So you see them in the gym doing weight that they could do for 50 reps, but they're doing like 20 reps, group fitness. So they're not really getting any true benefit aside from possibly endurance. So you want all rep ranges. So you need to get in that power range for that bone density, uh, also to work those fast twitch muscle fibers. So all rep ranges. So keep that in mind. Number 9, we just did that. Number 10, train the whole body weekly. So that just means balance. You don't want to just work out chest and back and skip your legs. Just want to be balanced. That's how imbalances occur. If you read my story, I actually learned how to work out the hard way. So I have done all the mistakes. I had various imbalances, injuries, upper cross syndrome, lower cross syndrome. My shoulder would crack and pop. I tore my hamstring slightly because I was so quad dominant, inactive glutes, tight hip flexors. I've had it all. So bottom line, you want to be balanced. Number 11, what I was saying is train across all rep ranges. Each rep range has a different response. So high reps endurance, mid-range muscle growth, lower mid-range is more strength, in between power and muscle growth, and then of course the power range, which makes you more neurologically efficient, explosive, your connective tissue stronger. So you want all rep ranges. It just depends on where you spend most of your time for what you're training for. So if you're a bodybuilder, you're in that mid-range most of the time. If you're a power lifter, you're in that lower power range most of the time. If you're an endurance athlete, you may be in that endurance range most of the time, but you need all rep ranges because if you do all rep ranges, it sets you on another level, kind of resets your boundary in a sense. Number 12, move well first, then move often. So kind of going back to what we were saying with maximizing movements, you want to learn how to move properly and then move often. So frequency, get those workouts in, be active, get out there, go hiking. Number 13, choose the right weight. This one is very important. So you want to choose a weight for your rep range, typically one in the tank. So if I'm doing a set of 5, which is really heavy, low reps, heavy weight, I would choose a weight I could barely get for 6, but I would stop at 5. So I would complete a solid set, but I'd still finish that last rep and not be all over the place, risking injury. If I'm doing a set of 15, I choose a weight I could barely get for 16, but stop at 15. Even though it sort of applies less with higher reps, it's still a good rule of thumb to go by. So one in the bank, just make sure you choose a weight that's challenging for the rep range. If you choose a weight that you could do for, let's say, 15 reps, and you do 10, then you're not doing it to its full potential. If you choose a weight you could do for 25 reps and you're stopping at 12, way too light. So the rep range dictates the weight that you choose. So you want to barely finish that set to get the benefit that you're aiming for. Number 14, change exercise order occasionally. So switching your sequence. So if you always go in there, Monday you start with chest, Tuesday back, Wednesday you're doing your leg day. Change the order. Monday switch it up to legs, Tuesday back, Wednesday chest, or your push day. I'm a big fan of push-pull legs recovery, mobility, then full body. But just switch it up every few workouts, every few weeks. Um, Progressions and regressions is number 15. So knowing how to progress. So if you've been doing double leg Romanian deadlifts for a while, you're ready to try single leg RDL. So just trying to push yourself again, like going back to the earlier commandment, just pushing yourself. If you have an injury, the opposite applies, trying to regress. So don't jump into what you've always done. Nothing wrong with taking 2 steps back to then take steps forward to risk re-injuring yourself. So if you tore your hamstring, go back to once you've healed, body weight, work your way back up. So progress, regress. 16, periodize your training. So cycle through strength, hypertrophy, endurance, recovery. Structure beats randomness. So what I was saying, change the rep ranges. You can do 1 week light, 1 week mid-range, 1 week power range, 1 week endurance, or you can do every other workout different. I like to do typically 1 week for each rep range, but depends what you're training for. 17, do your steady state. So do your cardio. It's important. If you want well-rounded fitness, you want to do your cardio. You need that steady state day at least once a week. So building that cardio foundation. Lower intensity, conversation pace. You're going for distance, building your fundamental cardiovascular base. That's important. Most people skip that. Number 18, not all exercises are created equal. So larger muscle groups yield more training effect. So you want to prioritize larger muscle groups, compound movements. So same thing as what I mentioned before, but different angle. You don't want to go in there and start with tricep extensions because you get the best training effect early on. So to maximize that. So start with bigger muscle groups, chest, if it's a push day, upper body. If it's a leg day, squats, deadlift. You don't want to start with leg extensions. So just being strategic. Number 19, kind of playing off the other cardio commandment of doing your steady state. This one is doing your intervals. So there's different types of cardio. You want to also do your intervals because it gives you that hormonal boost, anti-aging, growth hormone, testosterone, that active recovery. Very beneficial. So you want your steady state day, you want your interval day. At least 3 cardio days a week if you can. If you can't, of course, do what you can. But if you can, do all 3. Interval, steady state, and more of like a speed work or conditioning day. Number 20, stimulate, don't obliterate. You don't need to feel destroyed after a workout. That's a misconception in the fitness industry with group fitness. A lot of times group fitness will burn you out in a session and make you feel like you got a crazy workout, but it's just working out. It's not training. It's not progressive. You just burn yourself out every single time. So you don't have to feel dead at the end of a workout. Number 21, playing off of that, soreness is not the goal. It's just DOMS is novelty, but not necessarily progress. It's just better movement, more strength, more recovery that you want to focus on, not being sore. I haven't been sore in a long time. I rarely get sore unless I do something really, really different or really, really extreme. So you can't gauge the success of your workouts off of how sore you are. Quality over quantity is number 22. This is 30 focused minutes is better than 2 unfocused hours. Unless you're trying to have social time with other people who are also trying to have social time, okay. But otherwise, you want to get in, focus, get it done. Depends on your goals. Number 22, always warm up. So you want to prepare your body for the effort that you're going to do. We have that in the warm-up section about how to warm up properly. Got universal warm-ups and then how to add on specialized warm-ups for preparing the body what you're going to do. It's typically just preparing similar movements for what you're going to perform. Almost done. 23, intensity matters. So the body only adapts to challenges. If the stimulus is too light, your body has no reason to change. Intensity provides a stress signal that tells the muscles, the bones, the nervous system to adapt. So you need some stress. That's actually part of the reason why too much recovery from cold plunge will prevent your progress because it takes away from that stress in a sense. So the body doesn't need to recover, overcompensate in a sense to make that a little easier to understand. So stress is not a bad thing. It helps you adapt, unless it's, that kind of stress too much. Next is prioritize recovery. So kind of playing off that, these are all in a good order. You want to make sure you're getting your sleep. Otherwise, you're going to break down, nutrition, hydration, stress management, because your nervous system's like a cup and it'll overflow from all the cumulative effects. So, work, kids, school, stress, it all adds to your cup. So you want to listen to your body, and that's coming later. Next is 25, fuel to perform. Food is more than calories. It's fuel for training, recovery, long-term health. So you want to eat with intention, but also live, have balance. So you want a piece of cheesecake, go for it. Just during the week or majority of your time, try to eat healthy. 26, deload intentionally. So if you're not following our workout program, which has built-in recovery on the weekends, you want to make sure you take a week off to deload every once in a while. But our workouts do follow a structure. So I like to take weekends off. I like to work hard during the week, take weekends off, just be active on the weekends. And with the built-in rep ranges, 1 week light, 1 week intermediate, 1 week strength, 1 week power, you do naturally get that recovery. So you don't have to worry about that with us. But typically, keep that in mind if you're lifting heavy on your own consistently. Next, 27, maintain your body. So preventative care. If you have a messed up knee, it's got a pain, don't just ignore it and dismiss it as old age or an old football injury, because chances are it's a simple imbalance that you could easily fix by doing a couple different things. 9 out of 10 times, by strengthening that inside quad muscle, will realign your knee and that pain goes away. If you don't, it could wear out your knee over time, and then 20 years from now, you need a knee replacement. So don't just dismiss an injury. It could be a simple imbalance. It's your body telling you something's wrong. So get it checked out. Go to a physical therapist. Just get it checked out. Don't just dismiss it. It's like your car. You can't dismiss getting an oil change. Things are going to go downhill fast. So 28, always listen to your body. So distinguish between productive discomfort and injury. Know when to push, when to rest, when to adapt. So there's days that I've woken up and just been exhausted and had the option of choosing, force it or get some rest. Sometimes you just need the rest. But then again, you learn the difference when you're just feeling comfortable and then push yourself to work out and then feel amazing and have an amazing workout and are so glad you went. So experience will teach you the difference between the two. When you truly need rest and when you're just not feeling it, force yourself to do it and you feel amazing. That discipline. 29, second to last one, adaptability wins. So learn both the strength and endurance mentalities. Be flexible in switching gears. So there's a strength mentality, which is when you're lifting, you push harder. So you've got weight on your back, you've got a barbell. When things get hard, you push harder to get that weight up. So that last rep, if you use the endurance mentality, you're going to end up dropping the weight, because the endurance mentality is the opposite. So strength mentality is pushing harder, doing that grind, everything you have to finish that last rep. And endurance mentality is when things get hard, you tone it back so you can keep going. So if you're running and you're doing 3 miles, when things start feeling hard, you don't push harder. You reel it back so you can prevent that lactic acid buildup and continue to run. So it applies to life as well. When things get hard, you can push through, but then there's some times when you need to approach it with an endurance mentality where you reel it back. So just learn to be adaptable, especially when it comes to training. Depends what you're doing. If you approach, a distance run with a strength mentality, you're going to run as far as you can, as fast as you can, and you're just going to burn out. You might make it a mile, if that, depending on your, fitness level and your pace and everything. But if you tone it down, you can go the distance. So endurance mentality, strength mentality, opposite ends of the spectrum. Number 30 is going to be celebrate and build community. So share your wins, guide others, build accountability. So we're all in this together. The industry often has a divide, and let's just support each other. That's it. Hope you enjoyed these, and that's it.